Hello, I'm Casey,
And I'm Mackenzie,
and this is Field Notes from the Unknown.
a podcast about your favorite local cryptid.
So
Hi,
today's
Casey.
cryptid. Hello.
I'm gonna move this creature. This is another cryptid. This
Is that the cryptid we're gonna
wonder.
talk?
Yeah.
The brainless wonder. Stop.
He's orange. He doesn't have a brain.
Yes, he does.
He
He's so
does not.
smart.
Oh,
Such a
no.
smart little boy.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
He's very sweet, but he is not a microphone, which is fine. It's okay. All right.
I digress. It might be the brainless wonder.
He's the
Aww.
brainless wonder. A sweet boy. So sweet. So
Oh.
orange. All right.
Sweet
So,
boy.
do you have a cryptid for me today, Casey?
I do have a cryptid for you today. I do.
Is it a chimeric? Is it a terrifying chimeric creation of the dark corners of our psyches?
No, it's not a chimeric. This one actually is kind of cute to me. In a way.
Okay, but also like the
Um,
pigman was kind of cute to you, and that was utterly terrifying.
That was so cute.
No, it was so scary.
So we're going to refer back to one of our first sources.
First cryptids?
No, the first source that I got our first cryptid from.
Oh.
So we're going to go back to William T. Cox's book, Fearsome Critters of the Lumberwoods.
Ooh, is this story gonna involve lumberjacks?
Yeah. Yeah, because this is their story.
Oh my goodness.
They're the ones that did this. You know,
That's amazing. Up in the lumberwood.
they're bored. They gotta do something. So
Besides each other.
the creature, remember, they didn't do that.
Oh, they absolutely did. Like hell they didn't do that. It's like saying that they were just roommates.
I want to get a Ouija board and go. That might be what's about to come out of my mouth. Might not be a good idea, but I would still do it.
All right.
I want to get a Ouija board and go to the middle of the forest and see if we can summon any old lumberjacks. Or something that will act like a lumberjack just to please me. Which is okay.
Is it though? That seems like a real good way to like get possessed and then like haunted.
Can I still be in the podcast?
Only if we do remote recordings. But I will not be letting it back into my home.
We can't do remote recordings. We already have technical issues now. Can you think of what it's going to be like if I'm actually possessed?
Okay, then don't get possessed, Casey.
No.
Casey, what if kids stop loving you because you're possessed?
She's not going to.
And stuff like that. She'd be like,
She'll like me.
Hell no, Mama's possessed.
No, she'll still like me. I hope so. She will.
Okay, I'm possessed for Kit.
So anyway, we are going to be talking about the Gumberoo.
That sounds like a good old bowl of jambalaya, like kind of rice and like I think it's like Creole cooking and like you put tomato sauce in there. You mean a gumbo?
No, the Gumberoo.
Is that related to gumbo?
No.
How about kangaroos?
Absolutely not.
Hard
no. Nothing to do with kangaroos.
Because it sounds like a very Australian word.
No. In fact, it is the Pacific Northwest.
Really?
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest lumberjacks.
Yup.
Okay, well, what is a gumberoo?
So the story of the Gumberoo originated as a lumberjack story in the late 19th and early 20th century. So I know, I really like the lumberjack stories, but just bear with me, okay? Because I like this one.
Okay.
So
all right.
As I said, the Gumberoo lives in the Pacific Northwest in the dense forest and mountainous regions of Oregon and Washington.
Is the Gumberoo a Sasquatch?
No.
Does it live alongside Sasquatch?
I'm gonna say no. Maybe. Could be. Possibly. Well, I don't know.
Okay, what type of creature is a Gumberoo?
Well, we're gonna get there. The Gumberoo is said to be a large, hairless, bear-like creature with tough, rubbery skin.
So it's a skoink.
No, it's a
But the
Gumberoo.
skoink's also hairless.
Yeah, but this one is not the squoing.
I think
It's like a
you
bear.
okay.
It's like a bear.
Okay, but think about like a bear, but a naked bear. It's essentially a pig with teeth.
Absolutely not. Two different things.
No, like body shape,
Yeah.
body dimension wise and like size wise, same thing.
No, because this looks nothing like a bear. This is a pig. I don't have a bear, but if I did, it wouldn't look like that. Oh, here, this is a capybara. Looks nothing like a pig
It does actually look quite a bit like
or a bear. But
actually it looks
anyway,
a lot like a bear too.
so the Gumberoo is a large,
Naked.
bear-like, hairless
Naked.
creature.
Okay.
Yes. Well, so
Right.
I have seen some descriptions of him where he does have hair, but only on his eyebrows. So it's like he forgot to skip, like he's having a bad brow day and they're really bushy and woolly.
For what
But
purpose?
everywhere else, hairless.
All right. Well, eyebrow style is important and it also keeps hair out of our eyes. So maybe it was an evolutionary adaptation to, happen
Potentially.
with the wildfires that occur. Who knows?
I am so glad you brought up wildfires
This is fucking weird, Casey.
because fires are going to be something in this story.
Okay. All right.
So the Gumberoo's skin is a black coal-like color,
Okay.
and it's resilient to actually a lot of things. If you try to shoot the Gumberoo, throw rocks at it, I don't know, hit it with a bow and arrow, it's going to bounce off its hide and come back at you twice as fast.
That's impressive. That's quite
Right?
the adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So it must
I
be
wouldn't
incredibly
mess.
hard to hunt and capture a Gumberoo.
It is. It is. I wouldn't recommend trying to hunt a Gumberoo either. So, the creature is very reclusive and it avoids interacting with humans and prefers being alone. If
I have
you
a
would
question.
happen, yes.
Casey, are you a Gumberoo?
Uh, Depends on the week and time of the month. I would maybe be a Gumberoo.
All right. All right. Excellent. Okay. Carry
So,
on.
if you encounter the Gumberoo, it is said to get extremely aggressive.
Okay.
Now, mind you, you can't kill it. So, like,
You just
I don't
run?
know. They say not to run from bears in a general thing. So,
But it's
since
not
the
a bear.
Gumberoos, it's bear-like. It's bear-like. I don't know. Would you run away from Bigfoot? That was a very bad question. Because I know you're not going to run away from Bigfoot.
And it depends, honestly. That's a very depending scenario. It depends on the amount of Bigfoot, it depends on the cover, it depends on the distance. There's a whole spectrum of yes to maybe in there.
Okay. But you would run away from the pigman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And I don't think you should run away from the pigman. It might just piss him off even more. Just
Well,
like you shouldn't run away from the Gumberoo because it's just gonna piss him off more.
so what, you just let the Gumberoo eat you? Like what's gonna happen? The Gumberoo's gonna just walk off? Like what does it
Maybe if you stand really still, maybe it'll ignore you. But I don't know. So the Gumberoo mainly eats vegetation. However, it will devour everything in its path.
So it's a pig.
It's a bear-like creature. I wouldn't put it past the Gumberoo to eat a bunch of sleeping lumberjacks if they were in his path.
So Gumberoos are omnivorous. They eat both plant and people.
It's never said that he ate any people. That's just my assumption.
Okay. Gotcha. So there's no account attacks associated with
No.
Gumberoo.
There are
Okay.
no account attacks with the
Okay.
Gumberoo. And we're going to go into why I think no one's really ever seen a Gumberoo. The Gumberoo can only be killed by fire.
Wildfires.
Yes. It's said that when the Gumberoo comes in contact with fire, it will explode with an incredible force.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
I wonder if its insides taste like bacon.
It's not a pig. I don't know. Can you eat bear? I think, isn't bear
Yeah,
really greasy?
people eat bear. I think it is really greasy, but I've definitely heard of hunters who do that, especially in like Alaska, or like places where people only subside on hunted meat.
Hmm. I wouldn't eat a Gumberoo though. Like, I don't think it would be good, especially if it's gonna explode. Nah.
I mean, I picture it like like a chicken popper, you know? Like think about like a bag of popcorn. I think about the Gumberoo like a bag of popcorn. Like all the insides kind of like fluff up and then and then I would eat the crispy insides.
So,
Or
like, the
like you know when
bag
they
is the
take like a
Gumberoo's
pig,
body.
yeah, or you know like when they take a pig and they like put it. And I know it's not a pig, but they like take the pig and they like in Hawaii, and they dig a pit and they put the pig in there with hot coals. That's what I picture. And it's like super tender
Yeah,
and
but then it's
juicy.
gonna self-combust. It's just gonna blow up.
But it would still, maybe it becomes more like spam at that point. Think about like Gumberoo sausages.
No, I don't think. Or what if it's like after it explodes and then its meat just, I don't know, cooks up itself like jerky. So you're just walking through the forest and you're like, "Oh, wow, this is weird," and eat it like a piece of jerky.
That would be delicious.
I It would be weird, but, who knows?
I would eat it.
So, in 2015, there was a horror movie called The Fearsome Creatures. I tried to look up this movie. Um, I couldn't find it, and I think it's because it's an independent film. So, like, I couldn't find it anywhere to watch it.
I'm gonna
However,
pull it up
in
on
the
the internet.
movie, okay, in the movie, the Gumberoo is depicted to have 13 limbs, 10
13
being
limbs?
arms, 13, 10 being arms, and 3 being legs. In the movie, the Gumberoo is not a gentle giant. After being burned alive by humans, as the humans inhale the particles of the beast, their organs become coated with a rubber substance that is then misdiagnosed as tuberculosis.
What the fuck?
Right? I know!
What the what? I
I I don't know. I want to watch this movie, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Also, is tuberculosis what they used to call the black lung?
actually black lung was the thing from coal mines. Um
Ah, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
tuberculosis is like either the white lung or red death because like you start coughing up blood
The
sometimes.
blood. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
black
I
lung
don't
is
so
coals. Not like
I
Mr.
have no
Coles, but like
idea.
Mr.
I would think if you would be in the vicinity of a Gumberoo exploding and you would then inhale its particles, you yourself would then turn into a Gumberoo from the inside out.
I'd eat it, so I'd try it.
There's like borderline cannibalism if that is the case.
Eh, girl's gotta do what a girl's
Hold
gotta
on.
do, you know?
So, if I would turn into a Gumberoo from
Yeah.
inhaling its particles, and
Yeah.
then you would eat me,
Yeah.
would you then become a flesh pedestrian since you ate someone else, or would it not count since technically I was transformed into a Gumberoo?
Or does eating a Gumberoo, period, turn you into a flesh pedestrian?
No, I think it's only
Are flesh
cannibalism.
pedestrians and Gumberoos actually the same thing? Got it. Flesh pedestrians are also pigs.
I do not, do not insult pigs in that category of flesh pedestrians. Well, wait though. No, it doesn't count because even though pigs will literally eat anything, they're not well,
They do.
no.
Also, to be
But
fair,
they're not
like,
flesh pedestrians.
to be fair, a flesh pedestrian, if it exists and can transform, it could also transform into a pig or a Gumberoo if it therefore chose. So you could heck, Toddy the cat could be a flesh pedestrian for all we know. It could have got, it could have come in here and then abducted Toddy and then turned into Toddy, and we'll never know.
I just
We'll
asked the
endless
magic
wonder.
8 ball if pigs are flesh pedestrians, and it says, as I see it, yes.
Well, there you go.
If Mackenzie eats me and I'm a Gumberoo, is that cannibalism? You may rely on it.
I'm gonna eat you with a side of horseradish and coleslaw. It'd be delicious.
That's not the side I would pick if I was gonna eat me, but okay.
What would you want? Cream corn?
Ew. Oh, no.
Cream
I don't
corn's
know.
delicious. Don't you come for cream corn?
It depends. If I was gonna eat you, it depends on the season. Because if it was fall, I'd eat you in a nice stew.
Okay. All right. All right. How did
But,
we get here?
man, I don't really know. But we're here.
Wait, so fall,
Any,
if it was the fall to eat me in a stew, was there a
yeah.
so what if it's springtime? You gonna
Oh,
roast
I'll
me?
throw you on
You
the
gonna eat me in
grill.
like on the grill? Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll, somehow bribe a butcher to fillet.
As long as you like use this.
Stop. All right. Back.
I would be delicious,
So,
thank you very much.
I
If we
think
were
I
in a
would be
starvation
delicious also.
situation and I died first, you're allowed to eat me.
If we were in that situation, I would probably eat myself before I would eat anybody else.
Okay.
Like I'd start cutting off limbs. I'll start little, like a foot or something.
I don't know that you could cut off your own limb though. I feel like our bodies kind of
Well,
like
I'm
how
not going to cut off my own limb. Someone else is going to cut it off for me.
we're in like, do, like a circle of cutting off limbs and then like eat our own limbs.
Yeah.
Like a limb circle.
I feel like that's the only yeah. Yes. Exactly
You're
like a
not
limb
only
circle.
eating corn though.
Because I feel like if you're going to eat your own self, like your skin,
Yeah.
does that technically count as cannibalism? To me,
I don't know.
no.
Isn't this
I
that
don't think it
Hosier
does.
song too? Like about eating your young?
I don't know the song.
So
So,
so
and then if
Gumberoos.
you eat yourself, I need to finish this thought. If
Okay.
you eat yourself because it's yourself, you're not going to turn into a flesh pedestrian.
No.
Correct. Okay. Back to the Gumberoo.
All right.
That's it, honestly. That's all. That's all I got for the Gumberoo.
So who foresaw Gumberoo?
William T. Cox and the Fearsome Lumberwoods.
I don't think William T. Cox saw every single creature that he wrote about in there.
I think he did.
Was he also a lumberjack?
That's a good question. I think so. I'm almost certain he was.
Are there any modern day Gumberoo reports?
No, there are not. But
Do you think
before we do the believability scale,
yeah.
I do have another bear-like creature to discuss.
Along with the Gumberoo? You mean pig-like bear-like creature, a man-bear pig.
This one has nothing to do with pigs. Honestly, I don't even know how they got a bear in this one, but they do. So, before we go to our next cryptid, on a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 5, 1 to 5, what would you rate the Gumberoo?
I love you very much, and I love your stories.
I will
This is
cry.
fun for
I will fucking cry.
This is a one for me, girl. No modern reports. No
Uh,
eyewitness sightings. You can't even
there's
hunt it.
literally no modern reports of the skoink. And they came from the same book.
This is gonna be a one for
What?
me.
All right.
It's a bear
Okay.
with mange. It's a mangy bear.
Honestly, I think you might be onto something there because, like, know what a bear with mange looks like. But the Gumberoo's depicted as really big. Like,
Grizzly
big
bear
and
with mange.
round.
I'm big and round.
So, you think of, like, if Whalmer was in real life.
Like the Pokemon?
Yeah.
But
That's the size of the Gumberoo. That round ball.
how would it fit into the forests if it's that big? There's not that much clearance for a whale-sized creature to be going around through the redwoods up yonder.
I don't know. Maybe
This is a one.
Maybe this is another cryptid that has another invisibility cloak.
Possible. Casey, where would you rank the Gumberoo?
2, because it's cute.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Pretty cute
2,
for a mangy bear.
It's cute. It is pretty cute for a mangy bear. So, the next bear-like cryptid that I have for you. Hold on, I need to make a note. Because I forgot to add pictures of this bear-like creature on the post. So I have to do that.
Oh.
The Nandi Bear.
I love when you what? The candy bear?
This one is called the Nandi Bear.
The Nandi Bear? Is that okay? So that one sounds like tardigrades, water bears.
So the Nandi Bear can be found. This one really confused me because the way it's depicted, it really doesn't look anything like a bear. But we got to go to Kenya. Okay?
Kenya.
We're traveling to
Africa
Kenya
before. Okay.
We have not. So the Nandi Bear is said to be a half giant hyena and half giant baboon. Though
that
an unknown bear type creature is also said to be in the mix.
That's crazy.
Do they have bears in Africa?
I didn't think they had bears in Africa.
I didn't think so either. Anyway, the Nandi Bear is named after the Nandi people who lived around, I'm going to butcher this, Capabest?
Okay.
Kapsabet. Capsabest. Where the beast was frequently seen by these people. In 1905, the Nandi people allegedly told some dude named Richard Meinenhagen about the sighting of the Nandi Bear. Also, in 1905, Jeffrey Williams, who is said to be staying with the Nandi people to learn more about their culture, saw the Nandi Bear. Jeffrey's sighting is the first reported sighting, supposedly, other than the Nandi people. So, Jeffrey said that it stands at 5 feet tall when he saw it.
Okay. At like the shoulder or like head?
I think the head. And then it sat like a bear.
So it's down on all fours, but it sits down, kind of puts its butt down.
Yes.
You know what kind of reminds me of?
What?
A giant ground sloth.
A giant ground sloth?
Yeah.
I've never
heard
heard
I wonder
of
if
that.
it's like a relic species of a giant ground sloth or something. Because there's some hypothesis that giant ground sloths were still alive up to modern days in like parts of South America. I wonder if the same thing is true of like Africa.
Wait, it's real? Giant ground sloths are real?
Yeah, they're like enormous because sloths and bears are actually pretty closely related. It's a giant sloth that had kind of like it was higher up at the shoulders, more sloped down at the rear. And lived around the same times as like the mammoth and the saber-toothed tiger.
I see that.
But what you're describing sounds a lot like a giant ground sloth.
Interesting. You know what? Looking at these pictures, it's a possibility.
Yeah, fascinating.
Because, well, similar, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So the Nandi bear is said to have a thick, stocky body.
Yeah.
4/4 of its body are covered in thick fur, but the hind quarters are smooth and bare, like that of a baboon.
Huh. And because it's been sitting so much, it
Right?
rubbed the fur off? Or getting down, you know, and
Maybe.
doing the Nandi Bear.
I don't know. But like the giant ground sloth, it has a long pointed snout like that.
This is interesting.
And it has small ears. But the ground sloth definitely has a visible tail, where the Nandi bear has no visible tail.
Huh.
Similar to that of a bear. Because
Interesting.
they just got that tiny little puffball.
Yeah.
The Nandi bear is said to walk on its hind quarters like a bear, sometimes, and is very aggressive.
Gotcha. Has it ever, like, eaten a person or just scare people off?
I'm glad you asked. Of
What?
course. The Nandi bear... the Nandi bear was blamed for hundreds of deaths of the Nandi people
That's a lot of
that were found
deaths.
dead. It was a lot. So when the Nandi people were found dead, their skulls were crushed, which is why the Nandi bear was largely feared by the native people, because they
Interesting.
thought this bear was doing that. It's also said to kill livestock and other animals. It can climb, leap, and use a strong force to attack anything in its way.
Strong.
The Nandi bear is
Scary.
generally The Nandi bear is generally a nocturnal animal, doing all of its hunting and attacking during night. However, if you happen to see the Nandi bear during the day, it will often run away, but if you happen to encounter it at night, it will become extremely aggressive and attack whatever it comes into contact with. Yeah.
She wants her beauty sleep.
But she really does. You know? She works a night shift. Obviously,
Working
she's working a night
night.
shift.
Yep. She's a third shift girly.
One of the last known sightings of the Nandi bear was in 1998.
So that's really recent.
That's what I thought. When there was an engineer named Dennis Bernty and his wife Marlene were driving on the Korakamizu. Again, I'm killing these words, and I'm so sorry.
I think you're doing
Road when they saw a large animal that looked like the Nandi bear cross the road.
scary. Did they stop and hug it?
No, I highly doubt they stopped and hugged it.
I would have.
I don't think you should.
I'm gonna.
You
Gonna do
were
it.
literally just telling me not to hug the Gumberoo or like try and get the Gumberoo.
But the Gumberoo had the bouncy off Heidi thing, and I was gonna eat the Gumberoo. To be fair, I'm not gonna eat this one though.
Oh, I'm not gonna eat this one. I don't
I'll
even
be
want to
friends
get close to this one.
I'm gonna pet it.
So, what are we gonna rate the Nandi bear?
4 out of 5.
I was gonna give it a 4 out of 5 also. Only because I really do think it might be a giant sloth.
That's the thing, is that it sounds super slothy to me.
It sounds super slothy.
And there's sloths, and I think there's definitely sloths both in South America, Southeast Asia. So why would there not also be a species like that that's also enormous in Africa, you know?
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But that is all I have for you today.
Fascinating. Thank you for 2 very divergent, weirdly berry, but not bears at all stories.
Exactly, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But you are welcome. So you can find us at Field Notes from the Unknown on pretty much most platforms.
wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah. Like, share,
Send us an
subscribe,
email.
tell everybody.
Send us an email at fieldnotesfromtheocean@gmail.com. Tell us your field notes and rank your believability scale for these two cryptids below.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.